But what I'm going to do in the next sort of 20 minutes is give you an overview of what's happening in Saudi Arabia. And we actually announced on Monday the new national multimodal land, air and sea proving ground for future mobility in the kingdom. And it's a project which I'm very fortunate to be leading and delivering at KAUST. So first of all, where are we? We are just outside Jeddah, just on the Red Sea, a beautiful idyllic location. It's a 6-hour direct flight from London, running from Gatwick and Heathrow. And we are whilst we're only 15 years old, we already have the world's highest citations for the last 5 years running of any university in the world, normalised by faculty. So we have only 200 faculty, but they're hand-picked from the likes of Cambridge, Oxford, MIT, Stanford, Harvard, Seoul National, etc. And we have some facilities which are better than nation-state capabilities. So for instance, our high-performance compute, HPC, Shaheen 3, is 21 in the world without its GPUs. When the GPUs get added, it'll be number 11 in the world, which is better or faster than anything in the UK currently, just to give you a feel, and that's only for 200 staff. So we have capability which is very, very good indeed, and it acts as a magnet for AI, particularly machine learning. Let me see. Oh, there's a bit of a lag, sorry. Before I joined KAUST 2 years previously, I've held a sort of career in Formula One. I used to be chief race engineer at Red Bull, Williams. Then I was Chief Technology Officer for Innovate UK, looking after Strategy and Impact Directorate and the Centres and Networks, so the Catapult Network. And then just prior to that, I was Head of R&D for the National Air Traffic Services, NATS. And I was always looking for a site like KAUST, which is, I wouldn't say it's unique, but there's not many around in the world. We have 36 square kilometres that we own. Roughly half in land, half in marine, and a very low airspace dome over the top. So think of it as a completely owned and controlled land, sea and lower airspace, very low airspace operational zone. So we can do stuff in this 36 square kilometres, anything that we like in terms of autonomy, new ventures, new vehicle types, whether it be land, air and sea. And we've done a lot of first of a kind in the Gulf region, particularly around autonomy. The other thing I would say is we've got 13,000 people working on site, 8,500 people living on site. We have a full A&E hospital, we have 2,000 kids school, we have shops, we've got sports, we've got a stadium, and this is what you see here is only half of it. The bit sort of below the page is where the actual sandbox is going. But it allows us in that 36 square kilometres to really fast-track new ideas. And this is the reason why the Ministry of Transport and Logistics Services in the Kingdom picked KAUST to put their proving ground in, because there isn't a proving ground in the Gulf. There's one in the MENA region, but there's not a land, air and sea proving ground at all in MENA. In fact, there's only a handful in the world. And also I would say we're the only one with direct access to the sea. So it's, bear with me. I won't go through this in detail, but I think the one thing just to pick out is, I think we all know that there's a tsunami of technology coming our way. And it's how do you get that past the sort of the low TRL levels, up the TRL, and demonstrate it. What we do at KAUST is develop and deliver projects, whether they be coming from our own faculty or from ministries in the kingdom or from companies, take them, deliver them at scale, and I run what's called Technologies and Special Projects, which does exactly that, and I've got about a dozen projects for delivering at scale. To do that, we don't want to reinvent the wheel each time, so we want to effectively have a set of tools at our disposal, in this case our digital ecosystem, which allows us to work on no matter what project we're operating on. So I've got projects on vaccines, I've got the National AI Programme, I've got obviously this transport one I'm discussing. I've got the world's largest coral restoration project. I've got a cryogenic carbon capture project, and I've got a national sports innovation project, and the list goes on and on. So what we want to do is learn from each of those and take these capabilities so that we don't have to reinvent the wheel. So when you see, and again I'll not spend a lot of time discussing this, but I just wanted to give you a feel. The aim is that we're working with actually two UK companies, DigiCore and DigiLab, to develop this tool set, this digital ecosystem, which will allow us on the left-hand side to have data coming in, and I don't care whether it's a car, a piece of coral, a plane, a diver, a boat, a farm, vaccine, whatever, filling into a trusted research environment and allowing us to do the what-if studies on the right-hand side. As I said, we're very fortunate to have access to capability, machine capability that, to be honest, would be very rare to get anywhere in the world. So we attract AI fraternity from very high level, not just internal within KAUST, but globally. So this is a collaboration tool to allow us to do what-if studies. And this is just a bit of an example. So on the right-hand side, we have one of my team in KAUST Smart develops what's called the KAUST Central App. This is how we live our life within the KAUST walls of KAUST. Developing from QR codes to package deliveries and so forth. This is completely developed in-house. On the left-hand side, you'll see just a normal Audi A3, which we actually took, and we work with faculty and companies like Intel to work on new forms of sensoring and autonomy. And in the middle, we even have our own development house where companies go into that and showcase new ideas, new technologies. We have obviously, I think, about 110 nationalities at KAUST who go in, families live in that, whether they be from the US, from Asia, from Europe, and we understand what works and what doesn't work depending on people, their locality. And we develop a lot of firsts for in-kingdom. What you see here is what was the bottom half of the page previously. This is what was just announced formally on Monday by the ministry. So it is a fully funded proving ground which is going in Kingdom. It's my job and my team's job to deliver this over the next 4.5 years. The first part, stage 1, will be operational mid-2026. It's 1.5 square kilometres. It's a traditional proving ground for automotive, but it also has vertiports and marina for our e-foiling and foiling vessels. And this just gives you a bit of a flavour. One of the things that we can do is, if you ever want to do autonomous systems and novel systems, say in the UK, and want to stick an autonomous vehicle around the streets, there's a lot of hurdles to go through the process. The beauty is at KAUST, obviously safety is priority, but we own everything. You're not talking with 6 different entities to put cameras on lampposts or whatever you want to do. We own the lot. We manage the whole environment. So we can do things here which would be really difficult to do elsewhere. We also did is this going to play? It's a bit of a lag, sorry. I think that's thinking about whether it's going to play or not. This was the first autonomous shuttle work that was done in Kingdom, with partners, in this case Easy Mile and Sapco, who are the transport partner at KAUST. This was demonstrating for the likes of Riyadh applications, and again, first of a kind, on-demand delivery. And the beauty is we have our own sort of test people as well, in terms of everybody who's living on site. One of the things that's really difficult actually in the Gulf region is putting drones in the sky for various reasons. The beauty is we can do that. So we work with SANS, which is the NATS equivalent in Kingdom, and also GACA, which is the CAA equivalent in Kingdom. But we can put the drones in the sky at our request. We have our own fully operational hospital with A&E system, our own research vessels, so we can put drones from boats to hospital. We've also just announced last week a tie-up with an R&D with what's called Albaic, which is one of the biggest fast food chains in Kingdom, and they've got their R&D site just being put in, and they're looking at drone deliveries, because if you've ever been in Riyadh, traffic isn't great, so it actually sort of is an issue in terms of delivery, so they see it as an opportunity to sort of expand. We used to work with a number of companies on the drone side, but we actually have now developed our own drone hub. And the house that I showed you also has a drone delivery piece, so we look at how people interact from their own home with a drone such as this when we're delivering, whether it be medical parcels or food. This is one area which actually is really pretty cool. This is package delivery to your house, fully autonomous, zero emissions. UPS comes into KAUST, delivers the package from your app. Then you can request. Then it'll designate. It'll tell you you've got a package. It comes to your house. You put your QR code up against it, and out comes the package. So it comes to you at your request. So you don't have. It's not like somebody's throwing the package along your doorstep. And this is a really neat way to demonstrate package delivery at home, and this works very, very, very well. Sorry, I'm going through. So with all that in hand, we got approached almost a year ago. In fact, I was here last year discussing what may happen at KAUST with the Ministry of Transport and Logistics Services. But we've been working with the ministry for a year. We just signed the heads of terms, and we now have a very aggressive schedule to get this program up and running. We have got a range of partners in terms of automotive, aerospace and marine, and not just on the OEM side, but also in the supply chain and the regulatory side as well. So the aim is to develop this proving ground for future mobility, land, air and sea. And again, as I said, if you spent any time in proving grounds, whether it be at Idiada or Mara or at AVL, this type of facility would be very, very recognizable with Black Lake testing ground. And I've spent many a time running around with Formula One cars and automotive cars. But what's not usual is the vertiports and the direct access to the sea, and also the fact that you can drive straight out of this onto another controlled area, 36 square kilometers of control. So once you're working in a completely secure environment, you can drive out or fly out or take the boat out into another area which is less controlled but still owned and managed by ourselves. So what we've been doing in the last year is developing a set of use cases, probably over 100 use cases, land, air and marine. We're very keen to collaborate. It's an international activity. This is not a KAUST program. This is the Ministry of Transport and Logistics Services from Saudi wanting to deliver this. Obviously there are companies which Saudi are working with, like Lucid, Sear, Pirelli, in the sort of automotive side, and a number of others in the aerospace and marine, but it's very much going to be open for business and run as a commercial entity. It's my job and my team's job to deliver this and deliver it on budget and to time. Oh, sorry. These I just mentioned. I think a lot of what we do is in the connected space on the autonomous side. But one of the things, if you've been around, and I don't know whether you were on the Extreme H, if you were, that was discussed talking about hydrogen. The Kingdom obviously has almost an embarrassment of riches in terms of energy. Obviously we know about the oil and gas, but in terms of the sun, solar and wind, as you can see, it's got two shorelines around about 1,200 miles long each side. So hydrogen is a big of significant interest. So in terms of future fuels, we're looking very much at sort of not just electrification or hydrogen, but also the next generation of fuels and synthetic fuels. So we have a very strong combustion team looking at ICE, synthetic and biofuels, in addition to hydrogen and electrification, and that will all be on site. And then I'm just going to finish by just showing just a video, and this isn't our video, this is the ministry's video. Actually, they just released another one which you can see online on LinkedIn. I couldn't add it to this one because it was only set up on Monday, and I couldn't send it through in time. Otherwise, that would have been a problem for me. But I'll give you a bit of a feel. We have already started and we've cleared the site. So the site is, and this is KAUST. It is, if you ever get a chance to come in, it is an amazing site and facility. Even the video doesn't do it justice. This site is already now levelled and cleared with environmental studies and bathymetry done for the marine side, and by sort of Q2 26 we will have got the outline work and the majority of the stage 1 work done as well. We're already looking at purchasing test facilities, some of those, whether it be a simulator, human in the loop, driver simulator for hardware in the loop as well. And we're also looking at sort of vertical takeoff and landing activities in addition to what you see here. One thing is we're only 50-minute drive from Jeddah Airport, and Jeddah Airport is where all of the Saudi airspace is managed. Just like in the UK, all of UK airspace is managed out of Whiteley or Preston. Everything in Saudi is managed out of Jeddah. So we work very closely with SANS, the Saudi Air Navigation Service provider, and really looking, eVTOLs is an area where there's significant activity that we want to work on. So hopefully gives you a bit of a feel for what's happening in Saudi. We're really keen to collaborate and engage. I work closely with the FCDO, the Foreign Office, and Science Innovation Network in the Gulf, and just very keen to look at particularly UK business interaction, UK research technology interaction with Saudi, and build that up. We're also developing a opportunity for a UK hub for KAUST to try and further foster those links in here and also with the ministries. So very keen to chat. If you've got any questions at the end, let's see if there's anything on Slido. But hopefully that gives you a bit of a flavour for where we're at. Thank you.